What is Litecoin mining and why does it matter? Now that we've explored how Litecoin works, how it's used in daily life, and why people trust it, it's time to talk about the powerful process that keeps the entire Litecoin network alive. This is what makes Litecoin decentralized, secure, and constantly active. It's called mining. And no, we're not talking about pickaxes and tunnels. We're talking about digital mining, where computers compete to solve puzzles, validate transactions, and earn new coins. Mining in the world of cryptocurrency is like being the accountant of a digital world. Miners confirm and secure every transaction that happens on the Litecoin network. Each time someone sends Litecoin, that transaction gets added to a pool of data. The job of miners is to group these transactions into a block and then compete with each other to solve a complex mathematical puzzle based on that block's data. Whichever miner solves the puzzle first gets to add the block to the blockchain, the public unchangeable record of all Litecoin transactions, and receives a reward in the form of newly generated Litecoin, along with transaction fees. This process repeats every 2.5 minutes. Litecoin uses something called proof of work, just like Bitcoin. That means miners need real computational power to win the reward. There's no shortcut or cheat code. The system is designed to be fair and secure. The more computing power you have, the better your chances of earning rewards. But because this system is based on math and network rules, nobody can lie or forge a transaction. That's what makes it so trustworthy. The math doesn't lie. In the early days of Litecoin, it was possible to mine with just a regular laptop or desktop computer. You could download some software, hit start, and begin earning Litecoin while browsing the web. But today, things have changed. As more people joined the network and the difficulty of mining increased, more powerful machines were needed to compete. Now mining is done using devices called ASICs, application-specific integrated circuits, which are custom-built for one job only: mining cryptocurrency. These ASIC miners are like turbocharged computers designed to run 24/7, solving Litecoin's mining puzzles as fast as possible. They're not cheap and they use a lot of electricity. But if you have the right setup, cheap power, efficient cooling, and a stable internet connection, you can still earn a decent income from Litecoin mining, especially if you join a mining pool. Mining pools are groups of miners who combine their computing power and share the rewards based on how much each one contributes. The reward for successfully mining a block is currently 6.25 Litecoin, and it gets cut in half roughly every 4 years in what's called a halving. This keeps inflation under control and makes Litecoin scarcer over time. That scarcity is one of the reasons people value it as a store of value, just like Bitcoin. Aside from earning money, miners play a critical role in protecting the network, because if they're constantly verifying transactions and competing for the next block, it becomes extremely difficult for anyone to cheat or launch an attack on the system. To take over Litecoin, an attacker would need to control more than half the total mining power of the entire world, which would be incredibly expensive and nearly impossible to pull off. So mining isn't just about profit. It's about helping to secure one of these most trusted, decentralized digital currencies on the planet. Whether you're interested in setting up your own miner or just want to understand how this part of the system works, knowing how Litecoin mining operates is key to understanding how the entire network stays alive and why it can't be stopped. Mining hardware. What you need to start digging. Litecoin in 2025. If you're curious about getting into Litecoin mining in 2025, the first thing you need to know is that mining isn't just about downloading software and hitting start on your laptop. Those early days of simple crypto mining are long gone. As the Litecoin network has grown, so has the difficulty of mining. Today, Litecoin mining is a serious task that requires specialized machines, a stable power supply, and the right setup to make it profitable and efficient. To mine Litecoin now, you'll need a piece of equipment known as an ASIC miner. ASIC stands for Application-Specific Integrated Circuit, and these machines are built specifically for one purpose: solving the cryptographic puzzles that secure Litecoin's blockchain. Unlike regular computers, ASIC miners can't be used for browsing, gaming, or office work. They're highly optimized devices designed to mine non-stop, day and night, and are incredibly powerful compared to traditional computers. The most popular ASIC miners for Litecoin in 2025 include models like the Bitmain Antminer L7, the Goldshell LT6, and the InnoSilicon A6 Plus LTC Master. These machines vary in price, performance, and energy consumption, but all of them are capable of mining Litecoin using the script algorithm. The Antminer L7, for example, is one of the strongest Litecoin miners available, delivering extremely high hash rates and the ability to mine both Litecoin and Dogecoin through merge mining. However, it's also expensive and power-hungry, so it's best suited for people with access to cheap electricity and a dedicated space for running mining equipment. Once you've selected your miner, you'll need to set it up with a reliable power supply and a constant internet connection. These machines draw thousands of watts, so you can't just plug them into any outlet and hope for the best. Proper wiring, surge protection, and ventilation are essential. Without good airflow and cooling, your mining rig can overheat quickly, reducing its lifespan or shutting down altogether. Some miners go as far as setting up air-conditioned rooms, soundproof boxes, or garage mining stations to keep everything running smoothly. In addition to the physical hardware, you'll also need mining software. Most ASIC miners come with their own dashboard that you can access through a browser. From there, you'll configure the machine to connect to a mining pool, a group of miners who share computing power and split the rewards. Mining pools are important because solo mining is almost impossible now. The odds of winning a block reward by yourself are extremely low unless you have a massive setup. But in a pool, you get smaller, more consistent payouts based on your contribution to the group's combined power. Finally, you'll need a Litecoin wallet where your mining rewards will be sent. This can be a mobile wallet, desktop wallet, or even a hardware wallet if you're planning to hold your coins long-term. It's important to use a wallet where you control the private keys. That way, your earnings are always in your full control and not stored on someone else's server or exchange. Mining hardware is not cheap, and electricity bills can add up fast, especially if you live in a region with high energy costs. That's why the profitability of mining depends heavily on your setup. If you can keep your hardware running efficiently, access affordable power, and stay connected to a good mining pool, you can earn a steady stream of Litecoin. But it's not for everyone. Some people jump into mining hoping for fast profits, only to find that they underestimated the costs, maintenance, and noise involved. Others, however, treat it like a long-term investment and a way to support the Litecoin network while accumulating coins gradually over time. Mining isn't just about money either. It connects you to the backbone of crypto, the technology that makes decentralization possible. When you run a miner, you're not just earning coins. You're helping secure the network, process transactions, and keep Litecoin alive and decentralized. It's a hands-on way to be part of something much bigger than yourself, especially if you believe in the future of digital currency. How to set up a Litecoin mining rig and start earning LTC. Once you've chosen your Litecoin mining hardware and you're ready to begin, the next step is setting up your mining rig. This process might sound complicated at first, but when you break it down step by step, it becomes very manageable, even for someone new to mining. The first thing you'll need to do is position your ASIC miner in a place where it can operate safely. These machines are big, they get hot, and they make a lot of noise. A well-ventilated garage, a dedicated room, or even a small mining farm setup is ideal. You need a stable, secure space where your machine can run continuously without overheating or disturbing your living space with constant loud fan noise. After choosing the location, the next step is to connect your miner to a power source. You can't simply use a regular home socket without checking whether the circuit can handle the power load. ASIC miners like the Antminer L7 consume thousands of watts of electricity, so they often require proper wiring and heavy-duty outlets. Once you have the power connected, you also need to connect your miner to the internet. Unlike everyday devices, mining rigs should always be connected via a stable wired Ethernet connection instead of Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi connections can drop or lag, and those few seconds of disconnection can cause lost rewards and lower your overall mining efficiency. When the machine is powered on and connected to the internet, you'll need to access its settings through your web browser. Most miners have a local IP address that you can enter into your browser, which takes you to the miner's dashboard. It's like the control panel of your device, and it's where you set up everything from security to performance. The dashboard usually comes with a default username and password, which you should change immediately to prevent any unauthorized access. Once you're in, you'll see a space to enter mining pool information. This is where you tell your miner which mining pool to connect to and which worker ID you'll be using. Joining a mining pool is essential because mining Litecoin alone is no longer practical for most people. A pool is like a team effort. You and thousands of other miners contribute your combined power to solve blocks faster and share the rewards fairly. When you sign up for a mining pool, they provide you with the connection details like the pool's URL and your specific worker ID. You simply copy those details into your miner's dashboard, save the settings, and the machine will automatically connect to the pool and start working. It's a straightforward process once you're familiar with the steps, and most mining pools offer detailed tutorials to help you get started quickly. Once your machine is running, it will begin contributing to the network by solving the mining puzzles in real time. On your miner's dashboard, you can watch key stats like your current hash rate, temperature, fan speed, and uptime. You can also log into your mining pool's dashboard to see your earnings, how much work your machine is contributing, and when the next payout is scheduled. Most mining pools let you set your own payout threshold, meaning you can decide how much Litecoin you want to accumulate before the pool sends it to your wallet. Some people prefer small, frequent payouts while others wait for larger amounts to minimize transaction fees. Your wallet address is a key part of this process. It's where your earned Litecoin will be sent, and it should always be a wallet where you control the private keys. You can use mobile wallets like Light Wallet or desktop wallets like Exodus, or you can choose a cold storage option like Ledger for maximum security. Never use an exchange wallet as your primary payout address because exchanges can freeze accounts, delay withdrawals, or sometimes even lose funds. Keeping full control of your wallet ensures that the Litecoin you mine belongs completely to you. Once your miner is fully configured and running, your main job is to monitor it and make sure it stays healthy. Mining is most profitable when your machine stays online and operational 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If your miner overheats or loses its internet connection, you lose valuable time and potential earnings. To avoid problems, miners often set up temperature alerts, use dedicated cooling systems, and check their machines regularly to ensure consistent performance. Some people even install mining monitoring apps on their phones to get instant updates if their rig goes offline. Setting up a mining operation can feel overwhelming at first, but once you understand the process, it becomes a daily routine. You'll learn how to fine-tune your miner, how to keep your system cool, and how to track your Litecoin earnings like a pro. Beyond the technical side, mining also connects you to the heart of cryptocurrency. You become part of the network's foundation, actively contributing to its security and stability, rather than just being a passive investor. Mining Litecoin is more than just plugging in a machine. It's about becoming a small but important part of a decentralized system that has survived and thrived for more than a decade. Whether you're mining for profit, for fun, or simply to better understand how cryptocurrency works, setting up your own mining rig gives you hands-on experience that brings you closer to the core of what crypto is all about. Understanding mining profitability in 2025. Now that your Litecoin miner is set up, running, and connected to a pool, the next question most people ask is whether it's actually making any money. Mining profitability is one of the most important things to understand if you're serious about mining long-term. It's not just about turning on your machine and watching Litecoin roll in. Your earnings depend on a few very real factors, and getting them right or wrong can mean the difference between daily profit and monthly loss. At the center of mining profitability is the cost of electricity. Mining rigs, especially ASICs like the Antminer L7 or Goldshell LT6, use a massive amount of energy. These machines often run at over 2,000 to 3,000 watts, and they do so constantly 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you're paying high residential rates for electricity, you might end up spending more on power than you're earning in Litecoin. That's why most profitable miners are either in areas with cheap electricity or set up operations where commercial energy rates are lower, such as in rural zones, industrial spaces, or countries where power is heavily subsidized. But electricity isn't the only cost to consider. The price you pay for your mining hardware plays a major role as well. ASICs are not cheap. Buying one of the latest models could cost you several $1,000s or a few lakh rupees. The more powerful the machine, the more expensive it tends to be. That upfront investment needs to be recovered over time. This is called your break-even point, the moment when your mining earnings equal the total cost of your machine and setup. Everything you earn after that is considered profit. Reaching this point can take months or even a year depending on electricity prices, the Litecoin market price, and mining difficulty. Mining difficulty is another factor that affects profitability. As more miners join the Litecoin network, the system automatically adjusts to make mining slightly harder. This ensures that blocks are still produced every 2.5 minutes, regardless of how much mining power is out there. But what it means for you is that your machine's share of the reward becomes smaller as competition increases. When fewer people are mining, it's easier to earn rewards. When more people enter the network with more powerful rigs, your machine has to work harder to earn the same amount. The market price of Litecoin is perhaps the most volatile factor of all. If Litecoin's price shoots up, your mining rewards become more valuable overnight, even if your actual coin output stays the same. But if the price crashes, your earnings can shrink to the point where you're operating at a loss. That's why miners often hold on to their coins during low price periods, waiting to sell when the market improves. This strategy, called hodling, can help maximize profits if you believe Litecoin's value will rise in the long term. Oh damn. To really understand if your mining operation is profitable, it's important to use mining profitability calculators. These are online tools where you enter your machine's hash rate, power consumption, electricity cost, and the current LTC price. The calculator then estimates your daily, monthly, and yearly earnings, both in Litecoin and in your local currency. While these estimates can't predict the future, they're useful for planning and adjusting your setup based on real-time data. If your results show you're losing money each month, it might be time to pause mining, change equipment, or move your operation to a lower-cost location. Some miners also reduce their expenses by underclocking their machines, lowering the performance slightly to reduce energy use, while keeping output relatively stable. This can extend the life of the hardware and improve energy efficiency, especially in warmer climates where heat is already a problem. In other cases, miners invest in solar panels or alternative energy sources to lower or even eliminate their monthly power bill. Although this requires upfront investment, it can dramatically improve profits over time and make mining more sustainable. Mining profitability in 2025 is no longer just a technical challenge. It's a full financial calculation. It blends technology, economics, timing, and strategy. It's not enough to just buy a machine and hope for the best. You need to know your numbers, monitor the market, and be willing to adjust your setup as conditions change. For those who get it right, mining Litecoin can be a steady and rewarding way to earn crypto passively while supporting a decentralized future. Merged mining, earning Litecoin and Dogecoin together. One of the most underrated but powerful features of Litecoin mining is the ability to mine not just one, but two cryptocurrencies at the same time. This process is called merged mining. It allows miners to use the same computing power to earn rewards from both Litecoin and Dogecoin simultaneously, without needing to double the electricity, double the hardware, or double the work. For anyone already involved in Litecoin mining, merged mining is like getting a bonus reward on top of what you're already earning. Merged mining works because both Litecoin and Dogecoin use the same mining algorithm, known as script. Although they are completely separate blockchains with different goals and communities, they share the same fundamental mining structure. This allows miners to work on blocks for both coins at once. It doesn't split your power between two tasks. Instead, the system cleverly aligns the mining process so that the work done for one chain can also be applied to the other. When a miner solves a block for Litecoin, there's a chance that solution will also be valid for Dogecoin. If it is, the miner gets rewarded by both blockchains, effectively doubling their earnings without needing additional energy or effort. This isn't a trick or a loophole. It's a technical feature built into the networks with mutual consent. Litecoin and Dogecoin began merged mining in 2014 after Dogecoin developers realized their smaller network was vulnerable to attack. By combining their mining strength with Litecoin's more robust ecosystem, Dogecoin became more secure while Litecoin miners got the added benefit of extra income. It was a win-win solution for both communities, and today it's a standard part of most Litecoin mining operations. To take advantage of merged mining, you don't need any special kind of hardware. Any ASIC miner that works for Litecoin also works for Dogecoin. You also don't need two different setups or to manage two separate mining machines. All you need is to connect your miner to a pool that supports merge mining. Most large Litecoin pools, such as BTC, F2 Pool, and LitecoinPool.org, already support this system. Once your machine is running and your pool is properly configured, merged mining happens automatically in the background. The rewards from merged mining vary depending on Dogecoin's block reward, current price, and overall mining difficulty. During times when Dogecoin's price is high, merged mining can significantly boost your profits. Even when Dogecoin's value drops, the additional rewards can help offset electricity costs or hardware depreciation, making your Litecoin mining operation more stable and less vulnerable to short-term market swings. It adds a layer of flexibility that pure Litecoin mining doesn't offer on its own. Another benefit of merge mining is diversification. If you're earning both Litecoin and Dogecoin, you're naturally spreading your exposure across two coins instead of one. This can be a smart strategy in the volatile world of cryptocurrency. If one coin's price dips while the other rises, you may still come out ahead overall. Many miners choose to hold on to their Dogecoin earnings until the market peaks, using the extra income as a backup or an opportunity to sell when conditions are right. Others simply trade Dogecoin for more Litecoin, increasing their core holdings without spending anything extra. Merged mining also benefits the networks themselves. Because Litecoin and Dogecoin are being secured by a shared base of miners, both blockchains become more resistant to attacks. It would take a huge amount of computing power and coordination to launch a 51% attack on either chain, and merge mining makes it even harder. This shared strength adds trust and security to both ecosystems, helping them grow stronger together than they would alone. In the end, merge mining is one of the smartest innovations in Litecoin's long history. It provides miners with extra rewards, strengthens the blockchain, and helps two communities thrive side by side. If you're setting up a mining rig in 2025 and you're not using merge mining, you're probably leaving money on the table. It's easy to set up, completely compatible with existing hardware, and a major reason why Litecoin remains one of the most efficient and miner-friendly cryptocurrencies in the game. The future of Litecoin mining, trends, challenges, and what comes next. As the world of cryptocurrency continues to evolve, so too does the process of mining. Litecoin, one of the oldest and most respected cryptocurrencies, has managed to adapt through more than a decade of constant change. But the big question on the minds of miners, developers, and investors alike is this: what does the future hold for Litecoin mining? Will it continue to be profitable, accessible, and secure? Or will it become something only large-scale industrial farms can afford to maintain? One of the biggest forces shaping the future of Litecoin mining is the ongoing rise of mining centralization. In the early days, anyone with a decent laptop could mine a few coins and contribute meaningfully to the network. But as mining difficulty increased and ASIC miners became the norm, the cost of entry rose sharply. Today, high-performance ASICs are essential, and those don't come cheap. This shift has led to a situation where large mining farms, sometimes located in countries with cheap electricity and cool climates, dominate the network. These operations can afford hundreds or even thousands of machines, giving them a major advantage over solo miners or small setups. Despite this, Litecoin has managed to stay more accessible than Bitcoin thanks to its use of the script algorithm. Script is more memory-intensive than Bitcoin's SHA-256, which means it's less prone to being overtaken entirely by massive industrial players. It levels the playing field slightly, allowing smaller miners and even hobbyists to participate, especially if they combine forces in a good mining pool. In the years ahead, we may see new script-based ASICs that are more affordable and energy efficient, which could lower the barrier to entry and encourage more decentralization. Energy usage is another major issue shaping the future of mining. Crypto mining has come under heavy scrutiny in recent years for its electricity consumption, and Litecoin is no exception. While it's far less energy intensive than Bitcoin, mining still consumes a significant amount of power. In response, many miners are turning to renewable energy sources like solar, wind, and hydro. These solutions reduce operational costs and help make mining more environmentally sustainable. In some regions, entire solar-powered mining farms are being built, offering a glimpse of what the future could look like: a fusion of blockchain and clean energy that benefits both the network and the planet. On the technical side, the Litecoin development community has continued to introduce improvements that affect miners directly. One of the most notable was the implementation of Mimblewimble extension blocks, MWEB, which enhance privacy and fungibility. Although this doesn't directly change the mining algorithm, it adds value to the network and encourages continued support from miners who believe in Litecoin's long-term mission. Miners want to support a project that evolves, attracts users, and maintains relevance in a crowded crypto landscape. Litecoin's willingness to upgrade is a signal of life, a reason to keep mining. Market trends will always play a role in shaping the mining ecosystem. When the price of Litecoin rises, mining becomes more attractive, and new players rush in. When the price falls, weaker miners often shut down, leaving only the most efficient operations online. This cycle repeats itself during each market phase and is closely tied to the broader movements of Bitcoin, which still sets the tone for most of the crypto industry. Litecoin's next halving, scheduled to happen every 4 years, also directly impacts mining by cutting the block reward in half. While this reduces immediate income, it also makes Litecoin scarcer, which can drive up the price and restore profitability. Looking forward, we may also see more innovation in mining hardware itself. Companies are exploring ways to make ASICs more compact, less noisy, and more efficient in terms of power consumption. There is also increasing interest in making mining more plug-and-play, especially for everyday users who want to support a coin they believe in, but don't have the time or technical skill to build a full rig. If these products succeed, we could see a new wave of home miners join the Litecoin network, helping to reverse the trend of centralization. Finally, regulatory changes could affect the mining world in big ways. Some governments are cracking down on energy-hungry crypto farms, while others are encouraging innovation through subsidies and grants. In countries like El Salvador or Paraguay, where hydroelectric power is abundant, mining is being embraced as an economic opportunity. Litecoin miners will need to stay aware of these legal shifts and may eventually choose locations based not just on power prices, but also on crypto-friendly regulations. In the end, the future of Litecoin mining is likely to be shaped by a mix of factors: technology, economics, regulation, and innovation. While the road ahead may include challenges, Litecoin's strong foundation, loyal community, and commitment to low fees and fast transactions give it a solid chance of continuing to attract miners well into the future. Whether you're running a single rig in your bedroom or operating a full-scale mining farm, being part of this evolving network means you're contributing to something bigger, the ongoing movement towards decentralized permissionless money. Litecoin versus the crypto world. Litecoin, Bitcoin, and the battle for digital value. As the crypto market has expanded from a single coin to a universe of thousands, it's natural for people to ask where Litecoin stands. Is it just a copy of Bitcoin? Is it still relevant in a world full of Ethereum, Solana, and meme coins? To answer those questions, we need to understand not only what Litecoin is, but how it compares to other major cryptocurrencies in terms of technology, philosophy, adoption, and real-world use. At first glance, Litecoin and Bitcoin appear very similar. That's not surprising. Litecoin was originally based on Bitcoin's open-source code, but it wasn't meant to replace Bitcoin. Instead, it was designed as a lighter, faster version, a silver to Bitcoin's gold. While Bitcoin processes a block every 10 minutes, Litecoin's blocks come every 2.5 minutes. This means transactions are confirmed faster, making Litecoin more practical for daily use. It's cheaper to send, settles quicker, and often has fewer congestion issues. While Bitcoin is increasingly seen as a long-term store of value, like digital gold, Litecoin aims to be a medium of exchange, the digital cash that people can use without waiting or paying high fees. One of the most important technical differences between the two is the mining algorithm. Bitcoin uses SHA-256, which is more compute-intensive and favors massive mining farms. Litecoin uses Script, a memory-hard algorithm that was originally designed to allow more decentralized participation. While ASIC miners have since emerged for Script 2, Litecoin's mining ecosystem remains somewhat more accessible, especially thanks to features like merge mining with Dogecoin. This makes Litecoin not only more inclusive for smaller miners, but also stronger because it benefits from shared security between networks. Another key area of comparison is supply. Bitcoin has a maximum supply of 21 million coins, while Litecoin has a slightly larger cap at 84 million. This 4 times difference reflects the faster block times and is one of the reasons people call Litecoin lighter. It also means each coin might be more divisible in terms of perception and pricing. But both currencies are deflationary, meaning new coins become harder to earn over time through regular halvings, a built-in system to control inflation and increase scarcity. When we move beyond Bitcoin, the comparisons get more diverse. Ethereum, for example, isn't designed to be digital money in the same way. It's more like a decentralized computer, a platform for smart contracts and decentralized apps. Ethereum can do many things Litecoin and Bitcoin can't, but it also comes with more complexity, higher fees during congestion, and a completely different consensus mechanism. Ethereum now uses proof of stake instead of proof of work, which means you can't mine it anymore. Instead, people lock up coins to secure the network, creating a very different economic model than Litecoins. Then there are coins like Solana, Cardano, and Avalanche, all newer platforms focused on high-speed smart contracts. These coins have strong developer ecosystems and focus on NFTs, DeFi, and dApps. But they often face centralization concerns, outages, and questions about long-term stability. Litecoin, by contrast, doesn't try to be everything. It doesn't have smart contracts or complex token systems built in. What it does have is rock-solid reliability. It's one of the few cryptocurrencies that has never gone offline. It runs, it confirms transactions, and it does so with minimal drama. In a space known for hype, crashes, and wild experiments, Litecoin has quietly proven its durability year after year. Meme coins like Dogecoin and Shiba Inu present another interesting comparison. Dogecoin, which began as a joke, exploded in popularity thanks to memes, celebrity backing, and internet culture. It's fast and cheap, just like Litecoin, and in fact, it shares Litecoin's mining ecosystem through merge mining. Dogecoin might have more daily mentions online, but Litecoin often carries more weight in terms of development, community maturity, and long-term strategy. Shiba Inu, meanwhile, lives almost entirely on Ethereum and depends on its ecosystem. It's not a standalone chain like Litecoin. So while meme coins may be more fun, Litecoin remains more functional. Stablecoins, on the other hand, aren't competitors in the traditional sense. Coins like USDT, USDC, and DAI are pegged to fiat currencies like the dollar and used for stability, trading, and transferring value. Litecoin can work alongside stablecoins, not against them. Many people move funds between Litecoin and stablecoins depending on market conditions. Litecoin's low fees and fast speed make it a solid bridge for transferring value across exchanges, wallets, and services, something stablecoin users often rely on behind the scenes. Privacy coins like Monero and Cash are in another category entirely. They focus on keeping transactions completely hidden, using complex cryptography to shield addresses, amounts, and histories. Litecoin has experimented with privacy features through Mimblewimble extension blocks, allowing users to optionally send coins with more anonymity. However, Litecoin isn't a full privacy coin by default. It balances transparency and privacy, offering both regular and enhanced transactions depending on user preference. So where does that leave Litecoin in 2025? It's not the trendiest coin, nor the most hyped. It's not dominating DeFi or the NFT space. But what it is and always has been is consistent. It works. It's decentralized, fast, secure, and available on nearly every major exchange, wallet, and payment service in the crypto world. It has one of the longest continuous histories in blockchain without a major security failure or downtime. That quiet reliability is rare and valuable in a space that's constantly chasing the next big thing. People who use Litecoin aren't always the loudest on social media, but they are among the most loyal. Many developers, merchants, and payment platforms continue to support it because they know it does its job without complications. Whether you want to send $10 or $100,000, Litecoin gets the job done in seconds and for pennies. That simple utility is what keeps it relevant, even in a sea of flashy projects and experimental technologies. Litecoin in real life. Who's using it and where? While many cryptocurrencies are still searching for a real-world purpose, Litecoin quietly continues doing what it was built to do, being used. Unlike some projects that live mostly in speculative markets or experimental ecosystems, Litecoin actually moves. It's not just stored in wallets or locked in contracts. It's being sent, received, spent, and accepted across the world every day. In many ways, Litecoin has become one of the most practical, usable digital currencies out there, especially for payments and everyday transactions. One of Litecoin's greatest strengths is its speed. With transaction confirmations happening roughly every 2.5 minutes, Litecoin is significantly faster than Bitcoin. It doesn't try to reinvent finance or add complicated layers. It just sends money quickly, cheaply, and reliably. This makes it appealing to users who want to move funds across borders, pay for goods and services, or just get in and out of exchanges without losing money to fees or delays. It's a no-fuss, no-fluff kind of coin, which is exactly what many people are looking for. Across the globe, Litecoin has found adoption in both digital and physical spaces. Major crypto payment processors like BitPay, Nil Payments, and CoinGate support Litecoin, allowing merchants to accept it online or in-store. This means you can use Litecoin to pay for everything from electronics to gift cards to airline tickets, sometimes directly, sometimes through a payment gateway that converts LTC to local currency instantly. For merchants, accepting Litecoin can be faster and cheaper than dealing with credit cards, especially in regions where bank access is limited or fees are high. E-commerce platforms have also started integrating Litecoin more frequently. Some Shopify stores accept it, and even large retailers like Newegg have supported Litecoin payments for tech products and accessories. Gift card platforms like Bitrefill allow users to spend Litecoin on Amazon, Netflix, Uber, and more by purchasing digital gift cards instantly. This kind of indirect spending opens up a wide range of options, making Litecoin functionally useful even in places where it's not accepted directly. In countries facing currency instability, Litecoin has also emerged as an alternative to local money. In parts of Africa, Latin America, and Eastern Europe, where inflation or capital controls are major problems, people turn to cryptocurrencies as a way to store value and preserve purchasing power. Bitcoin often gets most of the headlines, but Litecoin is right behind it, offering lower fees and faster settlements, something especially important in places where people are transferring small amounts and can't afford to wait or overpay. Mobile apps have made Litecoin even more accessible. Wallets like LiteWallet, Trust Wallet, and Exodus provide smooth user experiences, often allowing users to send and receive LTC in just a few taps. These apps also support QR code scanning, making point-of-sale transactions simple in cafes, restaurants, or retail shops that accept crypto. In places like El Salvador, where Bitcoin is legal tender, Litecoin is gaining traction too largely because it's cheaper to use and easier to process on basic hardware. For people new to crypto, Litecoin often provides a more forgiving and user-friendly entry point. Remittances are another area where Litecoin shines. Sending money across borders can be slow, expensive, and packed with middlemen. Services like Western Union or traditional bank wires often take days and charge significant fees, especially for smaller transfers. Litecoin allows users to send funds internationally in minutes, with costs that are often less than a penny per transaction. It gives families a way to send and receive money without relying on banks or government systems. And with mobile wallets, people can hold that money safely on their phones until they're ready to use it. Even in the world of fundraising and donations, Litecoin has made a mark. Many nonprofits now accept LTC directly, including through platforms like the Giving Block. This is especially useful in crisis zones or during emergency situations where banks are down or financial infrastructure is limited. The transparency of the blockchain also makes it easier to track donations and verify that funds are reaching the right hands. Despite all this real-world use, Litecoin rarely makes the headlines. It doesn't ride the hype waves the way newer coins do, but that quiet, steady adoption is what makes it stand out. It has managed to avoid major controversies, code failures, or security breaches. It simply keeps doing what it does best, powering fast, low-cost transactions across a global network that never stops. This kind of reliability has helped Litecoin earn a place in the portfolios of long-term crypto users. They may trade other coins, explore new tokens, or dive into NFTs, but many still hold Litecoin as a trusted tool for moving value. Whether you're buying something online, sending money home, or just parking funds in a liquid, decentralized asset, Litecoin offers one of the cleanest, most straightforward experiences in the entire space. Litecoin as an investment, store of value or spending coin. For anyone involved in crypto, one big question always comes up. Is this something I should hold or something I should spend? With Litecoin, that question doesn't have a one-size-fits-all answer. That's because Litecoin sits in a unique space not quite as rare and hoarded as Bitcoin, yet far more established and trustworthy than most altcoins. As a result, people use it in different ways depending on their goals. Some treat Litecoin like digital cash, moving it frequently for purchases, swaps, or transfers. Others hold on to it for months or years, expecting its value to rise over time. In truth, Litecoin has proven capable of serving both roles, and that flexibility is part of what makes it interesting from an investment perspective. When it comes to being a store of value, Litecoin shares many qualities with Bitcoin. It has a fixed supply, predictable issuance, and a long track record of uptime and security. It's decentralized, censorship-resistant, and easy to self-custody. These are the ingredients of a reliable asset, the kind of thing people want to keep long-term as a hedge against inflation or economic instability. Litecoin also undergoes a halving every 4 years, just like Bitcoin. This event cuts the block reward in half and reduces the rate at which new coins are created, leading to increased scarcity over time. Historically, Litecoin has seen price appreciation following these halvings, though like all markets, results vary and are influenced by broader economic trends. What sets Litecoin apart from Bitcoin, though, is its usability. While many people are hesitant to spend their Bitcoin because they see it as too valuable, Litecoin is often seen as more fluid a coin that can move without worry. This is partly psychological and partly practical. Litecoin's faster block times and lower fees make it a better choice for frequent transactions. You can send 100 small payments and pay almost nothing in fees, which is great for traders, freelancers, online businesses, or anyone who regularly moves money across wallets or borders. That utility doesn't take away from its long-term value. If anything, it enhances it by keeping Litecoin active and relevant. For traders and active investors, Litecoin is also appealing due to its liquidity. It's listed on almost every major exchange, including Coinbase, Binance, Kraken, and many others. It has deep order books, meaning large purchases or sales don't cause wild price swings. It's available as a trading pair against Bitcoin, Ethereum, stablecoins, and sometimes even fiat currencies like USD or INR. This makes Litecoin a go-to asset for moving in and out of positions. Traders may not hold Litecoin forever, but they often use it as a bridge, a stepping stone between coins that's fast, dependable, and cheap to move. Institutional investors have also taken an interest in Litecoin. While Bitcoin and Ethereum dominate the headlines, Litecoin has been added to several digital asset funds and investment platforms. Products like the Grayscale Litecoin Trust have made it possible for traditional investors to gain exposure to Litecoin without needing to hold the actual coins. This kind of backing helps legitimize Litecoin in the eyes of regulators and institutional players. It may not have the same buzz as Ethereum's DeFi boom or Solana's NFT scene, but its simplicity is part of the appeal. Investors looking for straightforward exposure to a decentralized currency that's been tested over time often find Litecoin to be a strong candidate. Of course, like any investment, Litecoin carries risk. Its price is volatile, affected by crypto market cycles, regulatory news, exchange activity, and global economic events. The value of LTC can swing up or down sharply in short periods, and past performance is never a guarantee of future results. That's why many experienced investors recommend a strategy of diversification, not putting all your money into one coin or project, but spreading it across multiple assets to reduce risk. Litecoin often serves as a core asset in this kind of portfolio, not too risky, not too experimental, but still capable of strong returns if the market moves in its favor. Another thing to keep in mind is how Litecoin fits into personal strategy. For some people, it's a savings vehicle, something to accumulate slowly and hold in cold storage for years. For others, it's more like a utility coin, a tool for swapping, bridging, or buying, always available and easy to move. The best approach depends on your goals, risk tolerance, and how actively you want to manage your crypto holdings. The good news is that Litecoin doesn't lock you into a single use case. You can hold it, spend it, save it, or trade it, whatever fits your style. Litecoin's mix of speed, low fees, strong security, and proven track record gives it a versatility that few coins can match. Whether you're stacking it slowly over time or using it as your go-to digital currency for transfers and purchases, it fits naturally into almost any crypto strategy. It's not about flashy promises or experimental features. It's about doing the basics, moving value in a way that's consistent, efficient, and trusted. And in a world where hype often fades fast, that kind of reliability is an investment in itself. Litecoin and the financial system. Banks, regulations, and integration. When Litecoin was first launched in 2011, the relationship between cryptocurrency and the traditional financial world was nearly non-existent. Crypto was considered an underground experiment, something only hackers or early tech adopters paid attention to. But more than a decade later, the financial landscape has shifted dramatically. Litecoin, like Bitcoin and other major cryptocurrencies, is no longer seen as a fringe idea. It's now part of the global financial conversation, whether through investment, payment processing, regulatory oversight, or financial innovation. One of the most notable ways Litecoin has entered the mainstream is through its integration with financial infrastructure. Today, you can buy, sell, and store Litecoin through countless centralized platforms, including some of the most established fintech companies in the world. Apps like PayPal, Revolut, Robinhood, and Cash App have all offered Litecoin trading at different times, making it accessible to millions of users who may have never touched a crypto wallet before. This kind of integration brings Litecoin out of the crypto-native world and into everyday finance. People who once only used traditional banking apps are now holding LTC alongside their fiat currencies, often with just a few taps on their phone. Exchanges have also played a major role in Litecoin's bridge to traditional finance. Leading centralized exchanges like Coinbase and Kraken have worked hard to meet regulatory standards including KYC, Know Your Customer, and AML, anti-money laundering requirements, in order to operate legally across different jurisdictions. Litecoin, being one of the older and more transparent cryptocurrencies, is often among the first to be listed when these exchanges expand into new markets. Its long history and lack of controversy make it easier for compliance teams and regulators to approve compared to newer or more experimental tokens. From a regulatory perspective, Litecoin has mostly flown under the radar, and that's a good thing. Unlike coins that launch with initial coin offerings, ICOs, centralized teams, or promised dividends, Litecoin was mined into existence in a way that mirrors Bitcoin's fair launch. There was no pre-mine, no insider allocation, and no promises of profit. It was open to anyone from day one. This makes it difficult for regulators to classify Litecoin as a security, which has been a problem for many other cryptocurrencies facing legal action or delisting from exchanges. Because of this, Litecoin is generally treated as a commodity, similar to Bitcoin by financial authorities in countries like the US, Canada, and much of Europe. This regulatory clarity gives Litecoin a serious advantage. It makes it safer for exchanges, custodians, and even institutional funds to include LTC in their offerings without fear of sudden legal trouble. While the crypto space as a whole still faces a lot of regulatory uncertainty, Litecoin remains one of the more stable assets in that regard. For investors and businesses, that kind of stability is incredibly valuable. Payment processors have also embraced Litecoin thanks to its speed and low cost. Services like BitPay and CoinGate allow merchants to accept Litecoin payments and instantly convert them into local currency. This removes the risk of price volatility for the merchant while giving customers the freedom to pay in crypto. Litecoin's low fees make it an ideal coin for purchases, even small ones, where Bitcoin or Ethereum might be too expensive or slow to use. The simplicity of Litecoin's payment infrastructure send, receive, confirm has helped it find a place in both online and in-store payments. In fact, Litecoin is often included alongside Bitcoin and Ethereum in point-of-sale crypto terminals around the world. Whether it's in coffee shops, electronic stores, or restaurants, Litecoin shows up on the same screens as the biggest names in the space. This visibility helps reinforce the idea that Litecoin is not just a speculative asset, but a functioning currency ready for everyday use. And because it's widely supported by wallet apps, exchanges, and POS systems, users rarely have trouble finding ways to spend or convert it. As crypto becomes more institutionalized, Litecoin has also entered the conversation around central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, digital identity, and global financial inclusion. While Litecoin itself isn't a CBDC, its success as a decentralized currency provides a working model of how fast, secure, and low-cost payments can be achieved without relying on banks. Governments and financial think tanks often study established networks like Litecoin to understand how blockchain-based money works in real time. In this way, Litecoin contributes indirectly to the future of global finance by proving that peer-to-peer money can scale without central control. Still, challenges remain. Banks and regulators continue to debate how cryptocurrencies should be taxed, how they should be monitored, and what role they should play in the larger economy. There are concerns about illicit use, environmental impact, and financial stability. But compared to many other coins, Litecoin has managed to avoid most of the heat. It hasn't been associated with major scams, insider manipulation, or catastrophic failures. This clean record allows it to continue building bridges with traditional finance, not by being flashy, but by being reliable. In the years ahead, Litecoin's position within the financial system may only grow stronger. As more institutions enter the space, and as users look for trusted, easy-to-use crypto assets, Litecoin stands out as a natural fit. It offers the benefits of decentralization without the baggage of controversy. It's fast enough for payments, secure enough for long-term holding, and simple enough to integrate into almost any financial application. In a world where crypto adoption is expanding quickly, that kind of balance could make Litecoin one of the most important building blocks in the bridge between the old financial world and the new. The Litecoin community. Builders, believers, and the culture of staying power. Behind every successful cryptocurrency, there's more than just code, there's a community. And Litecoin's community may not always make the most noise on social media, but it's one of the most loyal, consistent, and quietly influential groups in all of crypto. While other coins ride waves of hype, drama, and price swings, Litecoin's support base has stuck around through bull runs, bear markets, regulatory storms, and shifting trends. This steady presence is a big reason why Litecoin has not only survived for more than a decade, but continues to grow in relevance in real-world use. The Litecoin community is a mix of developers, miners, users, content creators, merchants, and long-term holders. What binds them together isn't a promise of overnight gains or flashy tech. It's a shared belief in simplicity, reliability, and decentralized freedom. Unlike some crypto communities that rally behind a single charismatic founder or meme, the Litecoin community thrives on collective participation. It's more practical than flashy, more grassroots than corporate. People involved in Litecoin tend to be focused on function over flair, with a strong belief in financial sovereignty and open access to money. At the core of the community is the Litecoin Foundation, a nonprofit organization dedicated to advancing Litecoin adoption, development, and education. Headquartered in Singapore and supported by donations, the foundation coordinates efforts to keep the network strong and relevant. It helps fund development work, collaborates with exchanges and payment providers, and organizes community events to spread awareness. It doesn't control Litecoin, no one does, but it serves as a central hub for promoting the coin and keeping the community connected. Members of the foundation often speak at conferences, publish updates, and work behind the scenes to push Litecoin into more platforms and partnerships. Developers play a crucial role too. Litecoin's code base is open source, and much of its technical development mirrors updates to Bitcoin, but not blindly. Developers review changes carefully, adapting and testing them to fit Litecoin's specific structure and goals. Innovations like SegWit, segregated witness, which improves transaction efficiency, and the Mimblewimble extension blocks, MWEB, which add optional privacy features, show that Litecoin's devs aren't afraid to evolve, but they also avoid rushing into risky upgrades or experimental features just to stay trendy. This thoughtful approach has earned them respect among users who value security and stability. Miners also form a major part of the ecosystem. Thanks to Litecoin's proof-of-work model, miners help secure the network and process transactions. The fact that Litecoin supports merge mining with Dogecoin has brought even more miners into the fold, strengthening both communities. Many miners are also investors and users, creating a full-circle relationship with the network. They contribute to its security, earn rewards, and then either spend or hold their coins, feeding back into the system. Then there are the everyday users, people who use Litecoin for everything from cross-border payments to online shopping to tipping creators. In places with unstable currencies or limited access to banking, Litecoin has become a practical alternative. In online communities like Reddit, Telegram, and Twitter, these users share tips, offer support, and promote the use of Litecoin not just as an investment, but as a real currency for the digital age. Their enthusiasm may not go viral every week, but it's steady, informed, and grounded in actual usage. Merchants and payment platforms also play a role. Many small businesses accept Litecoin directly, while others use crypto payment processors that support LTC alongside Bitcoin and Ethereum. These merchants often become advocates for Litecoin simply because it works well. It processes fast, fees are low, and customer payments arrive without hassle. Word of mouth from real users and merchants continues to expand Litecoin's reach, far beyond what advertising budgets could buy. Even content creators have carved out a niche within the Litecoin space. From YouTubers and bloggers to podcasters and newsletter writers, there's a small but dedicated group of people producing consistent Litecoin content. They share updates, tutorials, analysis, and community news, helping both beginners and seasoned users stay informed. This grassroots media ecosystem fills in the gaps left by mainstream crypto coverage, which often overlooks Litecoin in favor of trendier, newer projects. The overall culture of Litecoin is one of longevity and realism. It's not based on hype cycles or aggressive marketing. It's based on a track record of delivering what it promises: fast, affordable, decentralized digital money that works. That down-to-earth attitude permeates the community and is part of what makes Litecoin feel different. It's not trying to be the next big thing, it's just trying to be a good thing. And that humility, combined with consistent progress, is what keeps people coming back. So while Litecoin may not dominate headlines or top every price chart, its community knows what it stands for. They're not here to gamble on the future, they're building it, one block at a time with patience and purpose. And in a crypto world often ruled by noise, that quiet confidence may be Litecoin's greatest strength of all.